Well, good Friday morning, New York Jet fans and NFL fans. It is February 10th, 2023, 7:39 a.m., and we are about 56, 60 hours away from the Super Bowl, of course, in Arizona, where the Kansas City Chiefs will represent the AFC with Patrick Mahomes, and the Philadelphia Eagles will represent the NFC with Jalen Hurts. NFC East, of course, being represented. They had three teams go to the playoffs this year, and I'm going to be honest. As I get older, and I'm going to be a little sentimental now. As I get older, each year that passes by, I get a little more. I don't want to say not into the Super Bowl, but I don't follow the hype as much. I remember, always being into the game, the teams, the pools, the boxes, the food, and whatnot. And then the one year where Parcells was leaving the Patriots, I was following the Patriots because it was whenever the Patriots season ended, Parcells was going to leave, and the Jets were going to snatch him up, and that actually we had to wait till after the Super Bowl. Of course, being the Jet fans that we are, we waited, but every year and after the '98 season, and especially after the 2010 season, the '09 season, I think we outplayed ourselves, and we made that run in the postseason, and then we just lost to Peyton Manning, and then Manning wound up losing to the Saints. I don't know if we would have been able to beat the Saints that year, but we're on something that the following year, and I say this again, Hard Knocks and Rex and Holmes and Sanchez and LaDainian Thompson and whatnot, and then we get into the AFC Championship game. After that, every year this week of the Super Bowl always is. I'm not into it like I was because my team is not there. I just want to see this. I just want to see my team. I want to experience what the Eagle fans are experiencing these last 2 weeks. With the Chiefs, I mean, they've experienced the AFC Championship game at home for the last 5 seasons, and they've won 3 of them. I mean, that'll be a little bit selfish of me, but I was just out of it. And then we get to the awards night, and I've been a huge Joe Klecko fan. As you can see, I have his jersey I bought years ago, probably 20 years ago, on eBay, and then got to meet Joe at training camp in, I think, in 2006. And he signed it for me, and I was one of the last people online to let me get in to see him. It was actually the first time I took my daughter to training camp with her godfather and my best friend George and my wife. And we said, when are you going to be in the hall? And he's like, hopefully one day. So one day was last night. On February 9th, 2023, Joe Klecko was announced into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And it was wonderful to see. I know he's been waiting a long time for it. I've met Joe a few times at Jet games. He is your blue collar football player, your blue collar person. And I grew up. My first memories of the Jets is the sack exchange. I remember, the offensive part of the ball with Richard Todd and Freeman and Hector and Wesley and Pat Leahy, but the defense with Gastineau, who was my guy, and I happened to meet Mark a few times, and Klecko and Marty Lyons, which I've met a few times. Just a wonderful memories, and now he's in. A few moments before that, they announced that Darelle Revis is now in the Hall of Fame as well. First ballot Hall of Famer. And I've had the privilege of meeting Darelle, actually with my daughters. We met him twice. And a cute Darelle Revis story. I take my daughters like one of their first games ever, preseason game, and I'm showing them what I used to do with my buddy George, with my nephew James, before the games and after the games. You go, you meet the players, you get a ball signed or whatever. And now I'm in my early 40s, and I'm not doing that anymore. But I'm taking my girls, and they meet the Brickenshaw Ferguson, who will probably be a Hall of Famer pretty soon. Um, and that's probably one of the first Jets they ever meet. And at the end of the game, we're standing there and we're waiting, and everybody's basically gone, and the girls don't want to leave yet. It's a preseason game, so it's beautiful out. And out comes Darelle Revis and his mom, and I believe his brother, and a few other people. And my girls go up to them and go, "Mr. Revis, can I have your autograph?" And he looks down, and nobody is around, so there's nobody holding him. And he goes, "Oh, baby girl, how can I say no to you?" And he gets their autograph, and he takes a picture with them. And there is, my daughter, like in the fourth or fifth grade, my other daughter in the second grade, meeting this future Hall of Famer, Darelle Revis. You fast forward to 2020 season or 2019 season. We're outside, and we meet Joe Klecko walking into the game as well. And then the last season that Darelle played with the Jets, my daughters also met him again. So congratulations to Darelle and Joe Klecko. To even add to this, for my 50th birthday, my wife and my daughters got me tickets to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. And I remember telling them after they gave them to me, if the Jets get inducted in, if Klecko goes in, we have to go that weekend. So we're looking to do that. And now that there are two Jets in there, I have to think that they're going to make the Hall of Fame game. One of them be a Jet team playing. So we're hoping to do that as well. On top of that, so on top of being happy about that, about an hour earlier, they do Offensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year. And the Jets take that. They sweep it. They do a jet sweep. And they get Garrett Wilson, Offensive Player of the Year, and Ahmad Sauce Gardner, Defensive Rookie of the Year. I have to say, it is a breath of fresh air to hear these young men speak. They thank God. They thank their family. Sauce saying that his mom was his superhero. Garrett thanking his family as well, his parents. This is the future of this team. And we have to build around this team. And we have a nice little base. And kudos to Joe Douglas. You had 2 picks in that first round last year that are Rookie of the Year players on each side of the ball. So kudos to you. Before the game, we're watching, and I'm on NFL Network trying to see if we're going to get, any early indication about the Hall of Fame. But there was leaks that Klecko was in and this, that, but I didn't want to jump to conclusions until I saw it. I saw it announced. And Mr. Namath, Joe Namath, who I met a few times, DJ'd for a few times, he announced Joe Klecko coming in. Ty Law announced Darelle Revis coming in. Ty Law actually played for the Jets, I think, 1 season under Herm. But, it was just, just so nice to see. They interviewed Joe Namath before the ceremony, and Joe just loves the cameras, and they're talking about the quarterbacks, and Joe says that the game on Sunday is more than just Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. It's a team effort and whatnot, and gives a great answer. And then they say, "Well, Joe, your Jets seem to have taken a step forward this year. What do you like?" And he gives props and kudos to Coach Saleh, and he goes, "We're just shy in the quarterback position." Now, listen, I'm not going to take that as throwing shade towards Mike White, Joe Flacco, of course, Zach Wilson, the obvious. It is true. We are shy in the quarterback position. We need to go out and get a quarterback. So with giving the kudos to Joe Douglas and how the defense is now built up and playing well and how the offense has weapons, I cannot see us not making a big play, a big splash in free agency for a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is the target. I am not a huge fan of Aaron Rodgers, but if he's the best out there, then I want him. I just keep saying if we get him, it's a 2-year and done thing, and we have to do this within 2 years, or else we're starting over. New regime, probably, new quarterback. Radio stations are saying Derek Carr to the Saints. Brady has retired. Aaron Rodgers may go to the Raiders. That leaves Baker Mayfield. That leaves Garoppolo. That leaves Tannehill. they're all viable quarterbacks. They're not championship quarterbacks. Tannehill, I know, got to, I believe, the AFC Championship game with Tennessee, I believe. I'm not sure, but he got deep with them. Garoppolo has been injury prone. So the target now, no matter how I feel, it has to be on Aaron Rodgers. So it was a banner night for the Jets last night. I'm always proud to be a Jet fan, but it was really nice to see, our players recognize it. I turned to my wife because she came in and she was like, nobody found out about the Hall of Fame yet. Everybody was waiting because they knew this was going to be a road trip in August. And I said no. And when they did the Offensive Rookie of the Year, I said it's going to be Brock Purdy. There's no way they're going to recognize the Jets. They're going to recognize a third-string quarterback that came in, Garrett Wilson. And, I remember draft night them showing his college highlights saying that they got a playmaker. He has the height, he has the speed, he has the hands. So congratulations to Garrett Wilson. Sauce Gardner, also another shutdown corner. I just know that these guys could really develop and be even better. And that is something to look forward to. Congratulations to Joe. As much as I am happy for Darelle, you are a first ballot Hall of Famer, I am extremely happy for Joe. And I'll tell you what, if they would have said Revis didn't make it, but Joe was in, I'd still be ecstatic. The other way around, I'd be happy for Darelle, but Joe deserves this. I think he was a 3-time All-Pro and Pro Bowler at 3 different positions on the line. You don't make them like they used to, like that. I've met him. His son was in the league. I think his son played for the Patriots. So congratulations to the Jet organization on a great draft last year, on having 2 of our own going into the Hall of Fame this year. And hopefully next year at this time, I am talking about getting ready for this game with our team. Also, Dak Prescott was the Walter Payton Man of the Year. Congratulations to Dak. You deserve it. Geno Smith, Comeback Player of the Year. And somebody said, well, it's like 3 Jets made it. Well, he came back, he was on the Jets early on in his career for, I think, 3 or 4 seasons. And then, of course, he went to the Giants. I forgot where else he went. And then he ended up in Seattle, had a pretty good year this year. At one point, really exceeding expectations. All right, so let's look at this week's game, and let's go over it. Okay, so Super Bowl 57 will take place on Sunday, February 12th. I think kickoff is, 6:31 p.m. I don't know how to get 31, but it's the NFL, so I guess we're going to, figure that out. Philadelphia Eagles are, on the NFC, is the home team. They are favored by 1.5 points. I said this last night to my wife. As much as I'm just into it to watch the last football game of the year, not really rooting for anybody. I'll root for the AFC because Jets are the AFC. I like Patrick Mahomes. I won't say anything bad about Philadelphia fans. It's not worth it. I think there's going to be a high-scoring game. It goes back and forth. I think at one point there's going to be a mistake. There's going to be a fumble or an INT thrown, and it's going to kind of make it a 2-score game at one point at the end. I don't think it's going to be as close as it was last year on the final drive with Cincinnati, but I think it will be close throughout the game. I think the score is going to change at least 5 or 6 times. So the over-under is 50.5. Kansas City getting 1.5. I think it goes over. I think you're looking at a 56 to 62 point game combined. So it goes over 50.5. And listen, if you were to say who's going to win, I just think the Eagles, as great as they played, and I'm not taking anything away from them, just like I didn't take anything away from Minnesota, they're due to meet their match. And I think Kansas City has the speed, the talent, and the QB to meet to match them. And I think Kansas City wins. I think Kansas City wins this game 34-26. 8-point difference. one-score game, and it goes over. Your MVP, if you're going to score that many points, is probably going to be Patrick Mahomes. Um, but it could be a wide receiver or a tight end who catches 3 or 4 touchdowns, but he still has to throw them. So that's my prediction. Kansas City 34, Philadelphia 26. It goes over, and Patrick Mahomes MVP of the Super Bowl. And then you know what? Tomorrow the talk will be Joe Klecko, trying to reach Joe Klecko, Darelle Revis, Aaron Rodgers, and getting this team to the next level. Enjoy it. Enjoy the Super Bowl. If you have your Super Bowl boxes, good luck to you. If you're, going out, please be responsible. Please don't drink and drive. Uber is always an option. And I know I sound like I'm preaching, but it's an option. Enjoy the game. It's the last football game for NFL. We have those other leagues coming up, but last football game for NFL to August 3rd. And August 3rd, hopefully, will be the Jets playing in Canton. That'll be Hall of Fame week. It's been a pleasure going through the season with you guys, and I'm going to do a recap of the Super Bowl next week. But I just want to thank everybody who subscribes, anybody who watches. Again, please subscribe to this video and this account. Retweet it. You can reach us on Twitter at the Jets Takeoff on Twitter. That's our handle. We're on Facebook. The Takeoff is the Facebook page. We are obviously can be reached by email at the Jets Takeoff. The Jets Takeoff at gmail.com, and on YouTube, where you're watching this video right now. The account is the Takeoff. The channel name is at the Jets Takeoff. You could Google those two names. You could Google Alex Parziali. Subscribe. This is not for money. This is not for anything but doing a labor of love. I just, this team has been a part of my life, my family's life since the early 80s. All those years of my father and I watching games, home and away, my house, his house, at the stadium, to my friends, my cousins, my wife, who really started going to the games with me when I started going, my girls now. And you can see, what my house looks like. And one of these videos in the offseason, I will show my house. And, this is just something I love to do, something I can speak about. And it was funny. I put on Facebook the other day, my cousin Richie, who, I mentioned Richie, Mikey, and George. The three I talk to every day about the Jets. We have this group text. We talk about everything. We talk about sports. We talk about everything. We make jokes, movies, and whatnot. But we probably spend most of our time talking about the Jets. And I'm grateful for them. And it's not sentimental. It's just the way I feel. And that's it. Go Jets. I will talk to you next week. Have a great weekend. Have a blessed weekend. Have a safe weekend. Have a healthy weekend. Have a fun weekend. This is the Takeoff. Have a great day.